I almost got my publisher sued for copyright infringement. How's that for first-time author screw-ups? It started out with the painted cover I did for my upcoming book, Becoming an Artist. I finished the painting with this nice blue background, but I wasn't 100% confident in it. So before I sent the final painting to the publisher, I played around in Photoshop with some background options to send to them. I liked the stenciled pattern I used in the original painting, so I found something similar on DeviantArt and used that in the samples I sent over. These were just, or we could do something like this kind of ideas. Not final, but ideas for the designer who would eventually put the art and words together for the book cover. I sent the Photoshop files over and waited. Weeks or maybe even months later, we were sent some sample ideas back from the designer, and eventually we settled on the yellow one, though I really like the purple one. The cover was revealed to the world and it went up everywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, bookshop.org, everywhere. And then my editor asked me where I got the background image from so we could credit them. I told her it was from DeviantArt, and she said that I needed to send her proof that I had permission to use it. I looked on the artist page, but it wasn't there. The artist had provided a download link with vector images and everything, a sure sign that they had meant for it to be used, but no wording that said my art is free to use anywhere, or I give my permission to use my art. Without those words, without their permission, explicitly, my publisher could get sued. But the book cover was already approved and on every book website. What do we do? I reached out to the artist on DeviantArt and even their Instagram account. I tried to get permission, but after a week, I never heard back and time was running out. I needed to replace this pattern with something copyright free. I even had friends who offered to make a similar pattern for me, which was really nice. But then I found a solution. The Metropolitan Museum of Art has a collection of copyright-free images anyone can use for free. I found these wallpaper designs by William Morris from the 1800s and downloaded some of my favorites. There were so many variations to choose from. I wanted something similar to what we already had, so my choices were kind of limited there. We settled on this one from 1872, and it's called Jasmine. My editor agreed, and I popped it into the background, and with a little tweaking, it was perfect. And just double checking here, yes, as part of the Met's open access policy, you can freely copy, modify, and distribute this image, even for commercial purposes. So for anyone looking for copyright-free patterns or art for commercial use or for private use, check out your local museum or the Metropolitan Museum of Art and look for the open access option for copyright-free images. Because even something as small as a background pattern design is still art. Someone made that and should be credited or paid for their work. And without explicit permission from the artist, it's safer to just use something else. Don't assume, like I did. So thank you to the Metropolitan Museum of Art for saving my butt and for keeping my publisher from getting sued for my ignorance. Becoming an Artist, with my painted cover and a little bit of art history from the Metropolitan Museum of Art mixed in, is available for pre-order everywhere.